Welcome to tutorial number 31 of the blog marketing series. My name is Phil Ayers, your host as always. I'm here to talk with you today about building a press team of one and utilizing inexpensive PR. And I know what you're saying. You're probably saying, I just started this blog recently, or I'm starting it right now, and I just don't have the money to sink into hiring a press team to go out and promote my blog. And my response to you is, you don't have to. Because with the creation of certain companies and recent technologies over the course of the last few years, you, as the private press secretary or the PR specialist for your blog, are able to compete with the likes of CNN, Fox News, and any other news portal that's out there today. So we're going to talk about how to go about doing this. We're going to talk about the website that you need to go to in order to make that happen, and we'll give you some basic tips on what you can do to get your blog effectively promoted. We're now at the home page of prweb.com, and this is the website that will enable you to compete with CNN, NBC, Fox News, CBS, because if you submit press releases through PRWeb, your press release will actually be on Google News, Yahoo News, and many other sites, and your press release will be grouped in with the press releases of some of the bigger news portals. So, first thing you need to do is get an account through PRWeb and log in, and you submit a press release. It's easy to follow the instructions, and the instructions are pretty easy to understand. They'll walk you through what you need to do. I will offer one bit of advice. There are different levels of commitment, for example, in terms of the amount of money that you spend, and some of the pricing packages for press releases go up to $200, and I believe above that even, depending on the premium services. However, I think the minimal level is $40. But that level does give you a tremendous amount of exposure. So don't be dismayed if you can't spend $80, $120, $200 on your press release, because you're going to get a tremendous amount of exposure, and your press release is going to give you unbelievable benefits in search engine optimization. It's going to give you actually an incredible amount of traffic, because remember, your press release is actually going to go through Google News. So many people are going to see it, as long as you have a press release that's been written about a timely topic that a lot of people are interested in. So first thing you need to do is go to prweb.com, get an account, and log in. In order to draft an effective press release, you have to think about, number one, what is newsworthy? Because you have to put on the hat of a journalist and think about what a journalist would want to write about. What would people want to read about? For example, let's think about, let's use an example of a blog about NASCAR. So let's say you do a blog about NASCAR. Well, it wouldn't be enough for you to just submit a press release and say, hey, I have this really cool blog about NASCAR, and I think you need to come check it out, and this is what I'm blogging about today. You need to think beyond that. Think more like a journalist. Think about a special, unique spin on NASCAR. For example, you might want to talk about the current oil prices and the effect that the oil prices are having on fuel, which translates to higher cost for NASCAR owners. So that might be a unique story that other people aren't talking about. So it might make you more of an expert in that field. It might distinguish you, but you have to get beyond the run-of-the-mill story, which is basically a rehashing of what you're writing about on your blog. Think beyond that. Think newsworthy. Think like a journalist. Secondly, you need to think about using a standard press release format and write like a journalist, because if you don't, likely PRWeb will never accept your press release and no one will ever read it. So they have a number of examples and templates on the PRWeb website. You can look at those, and there are many resources out there to assist you with sample press releases, and I urge you to consult those before you sit down and do your own. Next, use keywords and links, but do not spam. You want to put keywords in your title. You want to put keywords throughout your text. But at the same time, there's a line that you just can't cross. You don't want to overdo it. And you might be asking, well, what's overdoing it? Well, I don't have a good guideline there, but I think it becomes very obvious as you look at the text that you're writing, whether you're overdoing it or not. You know, if you're stuffing 25 key words in 2 paragraphs, well, you're probably overdoing it. So you want to make the press release read well for the person who's coming to Google or News and coming to PR Web to look at press releases. So you want to make it readable. You want to make it good for the reader. And finally, I would use an outside press agent. Now, when I say outside, what I'm talking about is very frequently I see press releases on PR Web, and I see someone quoted throughout the course of the article or the press release, and that person also happens to be the press contact mentioned in the PR Web press release. Well, there's nothing that looks more amateur than that. You need to give the appearance that you are larger than you are. And even though I'm advocating the one-man press team, you need to have someone else designated, even if it's just a friend, someone with a different name from you that you can designate as the press contact, just so you give an appearance of being larger than you actually are. Well, that's about all we have time for today. I hope this was very beneficial, and if properly used, having a good press strategy and a good public relations strategy can really enhance your blog and drive more traffic.